morning, Linux lovers. My name's Wimpy. Welcome to my world. Happy Friday morning. It's standard fare here. We're going to be having a bit of a Linux chat. I have my standard issue, 2 mugs of tea. Good morning. We're going to take a look at the new Quick GUI for Quickemu, a little project that I've been working on, and we're going to give that a try because Mark and Yannick have been working on separate tools, and they've joined forces and come together to create a single project that can manage the downloads and the VM controls. So we'll take a look at how that's coming along. It's early days. They've brought both their projects together in one place, and I thought it'd be nice to just take a little look at that 1 week on to see how things are coming together. So I'm just going to do my usual thing where I just let a couple of my friends know that I'm doing this, like Mark and Yannick, for example, who have put all this hard work into their new tool. And I've got one relatively important bug to fix in Quickemu, so we'll start by getting that fixed, because as people start seeing this, one of the sort of most interesting features of Quick gets kind of busted at the moment. Also, not going for a Halloween look and feel here. My light is broken above me, so I'm making do with the lights that I have around me to illuminate myself. But I suppose I have kind of got this slightly Halloween look going on at the moment. Right then, so let's get over to whoops. Where am I going? Gosh, so many places. Let's go here. So. Let's start with looking at Quickemu itself and a bug that I have in that. So let's just give myself a bit more volume here. There we go. Right then, so Quickemu itself, or rather Quickget, we've had a bit of a problem recently. So let's just take a quick look at what's going on here. So here's the Quickemu project on GitHub. Good morning, Paul. Hey, Luke, how you doing? Thanks very much for stopping by. So this is the bug that I'm about to fix. No, I'm not going to be doing that. We'll close that promptly. Right then, so this one here, Quickget for Windows 11 does not work, and indeed this is an accurate report and is directly as a result of me fixing this one last night. Windows 10 download link broken. So what appears to be going on here is that Microsoft are about to release a new version of, or a new build of Windows 10, and they've published the indexes for that new release, but the ISO image isn't available. So consequently, that download attempt breaks. And in order to fix that, I deliberately shoved the index off by 1. But I did it for all Windows releases, not just Windows 10. So consequently, Windows 11 broke, although Windows 10 was working. So I do have a fix, which I've tested here, is the diff in Git Kraken. So I now have an index which I use to sort of, just peek into the array. Hello, Mark. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Dust. How you doing? Look, I'm looking at my watch, Dust. It's the 29th of October. I think this officially counts at the end as the end of the month. How are things going? So all I've done here is said if the release is Windows 10, then set the index to 1. Otherwise, the index is the default to 0. So that's the fix for this, to actually make this work. So we'll do fix index reference for Windows 11, and that closes. That closes. What bug reference was it? Let's have a look. That closes. I'm looking in the wrong place because these are the closed bugs. That closes 171. So let's just get that done. And I think that that is a significant enough, we'll stage both those hunks. I think that's a significant enough breakage to warrant a new release, because lots of people are interested in using Quickemu to run Windows. So what we'll do is bump the version as well. So very quickly, we'll drive in here, 2.2.9, there it is. So this will become 2.3.0. We'll save that, bump this version, and 2.3.0. There we go. And we'll push that up, and then we'll go and build a release very quickly and get that done. So let's go over here. Oh, no, that's the wrong spot. Let's go back here. So that should be closed. It is. This I'm just going to close with a label, won't fix. No. So backporting QEMU 6.x to 1804 is out of scope for the project. Sorry. That's actually from one of the QA team for Ubuntu Mate. We don't want a very happy face. We'll have a slightly smiling face. There we go. Always good to be polite. We're not going to do that. Right then, so that's that one closed out as well. So let's just head over and do a quick release. Draft a new release. 2.3.0 and 2.3.0. I have been using this auto generate, but of course there's not going to be a whole lot of changes because it actually uses pull requests in order to generate that. So we'll just do changes, fix Windows 11 downloads. It's getting embarrassing the number of times I have to say fix Windows something. The irony is I don't give two figs about Windows at all personally, but this has become kind of important to people that are using it. What have I missed here? Why is that telling me there were no pull requests? Okay, fine. Why am I missing a... Okay. Where's the... Because I've done this, it's hiding the do it button from me. Ugh. Honestly, let's go back, copy that, go back here, draft a new release. Let's paste that in there. I haven't looked in. What the heck's going on here? Why can't I do a release? Well, okay, I'll just think about that while I come back here and catch up on the chat, because I did ask Dust. It's releasing tomorrow. Oh, wow. Okay, so the question that I'm asking Dust, who's in chat, is about Atom TV, which is massively oversimplified explanation, an Electron application that works on Linux, Windows and Mac to do OBS and Twitch integrations with channel points and what have you. So it does more than that based on what I've seen of the demo so far, and I'm very much looking forward to becoming a paying subscriber and getting stuck into that. So that's why every time Dust turns up, I'm following up OBS, Twitch, MIDI, and Elgato, Stream Deck, and lights. There we go. There's the comprehensive description from Dust there. So, and that's just where you're starting. And I say just because there's an awful lot that can be done with all of that. So looking forward to that. So, morning, Takov. Takov says, so releasing tomorrow. So tomorrow is Saturday, the 30th of October. Interesting. Our roadmap is Mahusiv. So Takov says, I have a question. Have you considered single GPU pass-through as well as multiple GPU pass-through later? When I get to doing GPU pass-through, I'm going to focus purely on single GPU pass-through at the outset. I think making that easy is going to be enough of a challenge and will satisfy most people most of the time. So I'll start there and we'll see how we go. Right then, so yeah, hello Paddy, good morning, welcome back. I was just about to have a quick click. Yeah, what button? So what am I missing? I've done this loads of times and it seems to be refusing to do anything. Very confusing. So where on earth? Oh goodness, I'm doing that thing where I'm clicking in the wrong place again. Why on earth is that not wanting to release? We've definitely got commits. The browser window is too tall. Too tall? Well, let's drag it off over here. Oh! So it is. It's hiding. It's exactly what the problem is. Right then. Thank you. Who suggested that? Luke. Nice one, Luke. How did I manage to do that? Right, there we go. So if we scroll down here, there it is. Way. Right, that's that bit done. So I'll get that released into the PPA in just a moment. Let's just catch up on what people are looking at here. Why would someone use 18? So Mr. Rocket there, or something, is it Mr. Rocket RX says, why would somebody use 1804 instead of 2004? The LTSs are very sticky, even past LTSs, not just on server but on desktop. And I know the person that was asking that question operates a load of Ubuntu Mate workstations at a university, and therefore they've got, you know, a fixed release that they work on. So that's why people ask for those older releases. But backporting all of that QEMU and all of its dependencies back to 1804, that's more work than I'm interested in undertaking, quite frankly. Right then, there we go. So hey Yannick, I'm glad you made it. All right, we're going to Yannick's in a meeting, he says, so ping him if needed. I think we'll be fine. We'll give it a run in just a moment. And Dust says there's more content on Twitter if you've got 2 minutes and want a sneak peek. Is that on the Atom TV Twitter account? Dust. I think there we go. So this is the Twitter account that you want. Here we go. So Greg has done a video here by the looks of it. So I'm not going to watch this now, but here you go. This is where you need to be. I'll put a link in chat so people can take a look at that later. I know that there's a number of people here who are Linux OBS enthusiasts. So you probably want this in your life. I've been working on some channel point integrations, and I haven't made them comprehensively available, because when Atom's available, I'm going to switch everything over to using that. So I think I said on Monday, I was away on Monday. I was actually working on my OBS setup. You can't see any of the new stuff. This is as it has been, but I've got a pile of new stuff that I'm working on, and Atom's going to be central to making that happen. Hello. Double audio. Really? Okay. How is that possible? Is everyone else experiencing echo? It is echoing. Echoing on the left channel. Okay. Brain's just ticking now. Huh. Okay, I think I can see why. How's that? Has that solved it? Has that made it go away? Trying to edit live. I'm not sure it has. Let me know. Let me know if that was... it is gone now, is it? Have I fixed it? Or is the audio completely broken? That's curious. I will need to check what's going on there. Okay, hopefully it's all good. Okay, excellent. Yeah, I'm struggling with this whole concept of streaming from two locations and having a consistent OBS configuration in both those spots. So yeah, I need to work on that. Oh, I think the Wimpy wins thing may be disabled at the moment because of the way that I've been changing the channel point integrations, but anyway, we'll don't worry, they'll all be back next week and a whole lot more besides. Right then. When he did Wimpy Wins. Oh really? Oh really? It was just happening when that was running. Well, that's even I can't dig into that now. Okay. Maybe what I can do is quickly disable that channel point for the moment. I'll just go and do that. If that was the cause, it's possible I know why that is. So let's just turn that off. There we go. Okay, that should fix that to some extent. At least stop it happening again. Right then, yeah, I'm on mono mic, and I have got the mono flag set. But I think that maybe I've duplicated an audio source in where I've got the channel point animations triggering, so it could have been that. So technically it's a stereo mic, but into a single input. Right then, okay. I have old-fashioned Russian microphones; they're fabulous. Right, where were we? We're gonna quickly bang out a release into the PPA now that bit's done, because I think that this change warrants that. So let's just make that a bit bigger. We'll go here. Let's just think now. This will be here and here and excellent. 2.3.0. Let's start with Jammy. Let's pull the new source in. Right then. I love my Russian microphones. They're fantastic. I tell you what, they're absolutely brilliant. I particularly like the hand-drawn frequency response graphs you get with them. So let's just take a look at this changelog here. So we'll just do this for Jammy, because Jammy is the code name for what will become the 2204 LTS. So we'll build that, and then we'll edit again. We'll just cycle through these very quickly. Impish is the current release, 2110. I think I said the other day, this is my least favorite time in the Ubuntu release schedules, when there's kind of 4 supported versions on the go. I can understand. I know there was criticism a long time ago when Ubuntu moved to that 9-month release cycle or support cycle on the interim releases, but you can understand why when you look at like trying to backport things over multiple releases. It slows down momentum considerably. So, focal. So let's, we've done all that, so let's put those up. This is for focal. Let's grab, let's grab all of that. Jam that in the PPA and then do the same for pursuit. And then impish. I tell you what, there is one advantage to my lights being out, my overhead lights being out. And what was it? It was jammy, wasn't it? So right, that'll build in a PPA, so that's good. Yeah, the one advantage of the lights being out is that I can see the illuminations in my keyboard. So you'll notice now I am now replete in my Star Wars theme here. I've got the limited edition keyboard and the mouse. Everything's looking good. I've even got the limited edition controller. I don't know if you can make out, but there's a Darth Vader in that there controller as well. Yeah, and I have a Stormtrooper one on the way too. So my daughter's coming in to help me with some of the setup. I'm going to do some setup tomorrow, and that's for next week when I'm going to be doing a load of Raspberry Pi stuff here. So we'll be hooking up the capture device for the Raspberry Pi, and we're working on some Raspberry Pi projects here. So I've got my shelves empty, ready to take a complete delivery of all my Raspberry Pi bits and bobs from home. I'm going to bring all of that here and work on it here. So Wimpy's World. Do you know anything about jammy and Pipewire? Well, I haven't spoken to the desktop team about this particular topic. You'll obviously know that Pipewire features in 2110, but it's not the default system. That will be the desktop team's call. They'll obviously evaluate that sometime over the next 6 months to see what the stability looks like. What you need to remember is that the Ubuntu, particularly LTS, is the audience for that distribution outclasses every other distribution, all of them put together many times over. Ubuntu is extremely popular. So consequently, if stuff isn't right, it affects a lot of people and generates a lot of problems. And that's more so when you consider the number of devices from like Dell, HP and Lenovo that Ubuntu ships on. And those all need to be stable and supportable as well. So all of that will be factored into the decision-making process as to whether or not Pipewire is default. So that will be their decision along with the QA labs and their partners at the device manufacturers. So, and I don't know how well you know me. I used to run the desktop team at Canonical. So this is how I know sort of what goes into making those kinds of decisions and why Ubuntu may choose to not ship Pipewire as default in 2204 but wait till 2110. But we shall see. We shall see how it goes. Right, Pipewire. Far from being ready for production. There are some things it does very well. In fact, I have a bug to fix in the OBS Studio Snap, where I've uplifted to the latest Pipewire and there's some sort of change in the wire protocol. And so that isn't backwards compatible to the host Pipewire on earlier releases of Ubuntu. So I actually need to downgrade the Pipewire version in the Snap. So that's another thing to consider, and was one of those sort of considerations with other technologies that have been introduced in times. It's when you've got to support things backwards, does the wire protocol change? So that'll all be taken into consideration. So we'll see what happens. Yes, Raspberry Pi project. So the initial project is going to be building and releasing Ubuntu Mate images for the Raspberry Pi for Ubuntu Mate 2110. That will be one of the things next week. But then once I've got all of the gear in here, then I'll be able to work on some camera projects and some retro computing projects that I've got a whole bunch of Raspberry Pi stuff for, and has been sat in a box in my office at home for over a year. So I thought by putting them here and using my morning streams, I can actually tinker away and work on some of these things and catch up on stuff. Right, so that's all building in the PPA. I've already done a cheeky copy of the fixed version of Quickget into my system directory. So that should mean that the fixed version is available and it won't cause any problems with Quickgui. I think I had a version. Oh no, I didn't have a version running. So I'm going to run up Quickgui now. So let's just go to my browser very quickly. So this is the project. So Quickgui now has its own org on GitHub. So it's Quickgui in the Quickgui project. So Yannick and Mark in our Discord had a chat a few nights ago, and they agreed that what they would do is they would use Yannick's Quickgui as the foundation and then move, because Yannick's Quickgui was just a front-end Quickget, the downloader, and Mark had written sort of a virtual machine manager component in his Quickemu GUI. So what they've done is they've melded the two together. So Mark's VM manager piece is now a part of Quickgui. So everything is here and the two of them are collaborating on this, and I thought we'd take a quick look. So this is implemented in Flutter. Has that appeared on the right screen? I think it might have done. And it looks like this, if I could just get my mouse on the right virtual screen. So we've got manage existing machines and we've got create new machines. So I'm going to click on the manage new machines. And you can see here there's a directory here, and this is where you tell Quickgui where your virtual machines live. So mine live here, so I'll just pick that location, and now you can see it discovers all of the virtual machines that I have in those places. So I can, I think, impish, that will do, hit play, and it started probably on the wrong virtual screen. Here it is. That's not a bug of Quickgui, that's just the behavior of how QEMU does things. It always puts things on the primary display. So there we go, there's my VM running, and then over here you can see that it's running. There's a stop button. I haven't ever tested this, so we'll try that in a moment. And it also tells you what the SSH port is bound to and what the SPICE port is bound to. I'm going to try clicking stop because I don't know if this works or not. Ooh, I even get a nice message. You're about to do bad things. I'm about to hard stop it. Okay. Look at that. It works. Awesome. So the other feature is you can say here, by enabling this, you can tell it that you want to use the SPICE protocol rather than SDL for the renderer. So if I tick that and hit play again, this time it's opened in the SPICE client. So here it is. And in fact, Yannick, something that I was thinking about, I did sound surprised, because I know some of the features that I added to Quickemu that you're using were quite recent. I wasn't sure if it was all in place or not. So now with the SPICE client here, you can do things like USB pass-through and a whole bunch of extra stuff. So that is all working just fine. So something I was considering, Yannick, was this. When you run with the SPICE protocol, or rather when Quickemu runs with the SPICE protocol, it's actually starting two processes, one for QEMU and one for the spicy client. I'm thinking I should probably drop a PID file in the same, not in the same file, but in the same path for the PID for the spicy client, so that when you hit stop, you could potentially kill QEMU and the Spicy client. What do you think about that? So I thought that we'd also test downloading a new thing. So I fixed another bug last night. So what I clicked there was that I want to create a new machine. So we hit select. This gets the list from Quickget. So Quickget has this facility to dump all of the supported operating systems as either a CSV or a JSON file. So here's everything that's currently supported. I know there's a PR for Arch. We should probably go and merge that after this. Some of these download faster than others. So let's try something that downloads relatively quickly. Let's try Pop! OS. So we can choose a version. So let's choose 2104 and we'll grab their Intel version and we hit, oh, hello. I need to change. There we go. That's the directory we want. So maybe Yannick, the downloader, needs to remember the path that you selected in the other piece as well, you know, like a common path. So we'll hit download and we're waiting for the download to start. And there we go, it's off. And so something that's changed quite recently is that Yannick is now grabbing the download percentage, so you can actually see how the download is progressing, as to before it was kind of just a endless spinner. So the downloader, don't share the location. Okay, you'll have to change the location for the download. Okay, so you're aware of that. Okay, good. So Takov says, does this Flutter GUI, so I think you're asking, can it be portable? Yannick is the right person to ask. So you can see Yannick's username there, FrenchGuyCH. If you go to twitch.tv/FrenchGuyCH and have a follow over there, Yannick is doing a whole series of streams, mostly I think these days, Yannick, focused around Flutter. I think you're having a bit of a love affair with Flutter. So if you're interested in learning a bit more about Flutter, particularly for Linux, then yeah, head over and follow Yannick's channel. Certainly I need to brush up my Flutter skills. It's been over a year since in fact it's nearly been a year and a half since I've done any Dart or Flutter development at all. How you sleepy eyes, Vince? How you doing? Yeah, it's grown in popularity. It's picked up like 2,700 stars on GitHub in the last 10 days. So yeah, I've had to put a lot of effort into it because, like you say, there's a lot of attention on it. It's just about there. There's one annoying intermittent bug with Windows 10 and 11 at the moment, which I'll get around to fixing. But starting next week, I'm going to have a little break from Quickemu. I'm going to let it sit, let some feedback generate, and give it like a couple of weeks to sort of bed in, to sort of figure out where we need to go with it next. And whilst I'm just letting that, you know, I'll fix the critical stuff like promptly, but whilst I just let that sit and, you know, see what people are requesting and what have you, I'm going to work on some Raspberry Pi related stuff, probably for the next 10 days or so. Yes, I saw Linux Pool. I saw that they'd talked about it on Linux User Space podcast. Yeah, and Dan, I think, has been using it for quite some time because he used it in its original incarnation when it was very squarely just a sort of a dev tool for Ubuntu, you know, Ubuntu developers and Flavor developers. You know, it was the Windows 11 stuff, which, you know, I got from the work I did with Danny, because they maintain a snap that runs Windows in a similar fashion, but being able to release Windows 11 support, you know, the day after Windows 11 was released. And then we did the same trick this week. You know, macOS Monterey was released earlier in the week and we had support in this the next day. So there we go. So that's downloaded, so I can dismiss that. I'll close the downloader manage existing machines, and there's my Pop! OS machine that we just created there. And in fact, we can see that I don't have Monterey on this machine. So I tell you what, let's go and grab that as well. So create a new machine, just to prove that it's not lies. macOS will have Monterey, and we'll start downloading. And the other thing that was recently added through a community contribution is we use a utility called Mac Recovery to download the hey Yannick, you've actually managed to pull some numbers out of Mac Recovery. Go you, well done. So Mac Recovery, when you download a recovery image for Mac OS, you also get this thing called a chunk list, which is a bit like a torrent file. It's obviously not peer-to-peer, but it sort of has all of the blocks and signed in integrity checks, and somebody's contributed not just to Quickemu, but to the upstream of Mac Recovery, a full integrity check on the chunk list. So not only does it download, but it now verifies that the download is completely correct, which is rather cool. So I'm looking forward to doing some Raspberry Pi tinkering. It's going to be Raspberry Pi and Ubuntu Mate tinkering, and I don't know if I'm going to stream any of it, but like I say, you know, Dust was, I don't know if he's still here, but Dust, who's been working on Atom TV, I'm going to be, well, this stream may start to look a little different, but there's going to be a load more interactive features and capabilities. Hey Dan, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I was saying I was aware that you'd been using Quickemu for a while, you know, ever since its first emergence, when it was very squarely a sort of an Ubuntu dev tool. Yeah, it's grown a lot since then. Hey Cody, how you doing? So Cody asks, will this also be making its way to FlatHub as a Flatpak at some point? If somebody wants to publish it as a Flatpak, by all means do that. I don't think that that's going to work brilliantly, because Quickemu itself is obviously a terminal application, and making Flatpaks of terminal apps is not what Flatpak is for. So at the moment, Yannick has got comprehensive build instructions. So it explains how to build the thing from source, but more conveniently, he also has a PPA, which is how I'm consuming Quickgui. In fact, if Yannick is in the chat here, something, if you could post into the Quickemu chat in Discord, Yannick, is where your Debian packaging for Quickgui is, because I'd like to take a look at that and see if I can help improve it. And I also noticed that Yannick's doing the same as I am doing, which is using the QEMU logo. And I think Quickemu probably needs its own logo. So we probably need to find somebody that can do that digital drawing thing and make a logo for Quickemu, and consequently the GUIs as well, with Wendell. I'm going to contact Wendell today, because I said to Wendell that I needed a couple of weeks just to, well, first of all, I was really busy with KubeCon last week, and then I knew I was going to be away for 4 days. And I said I wanted to just get some critical bugs fixed, which I've now done. Specifically, that was adding support for QEMU 6.1, which was obviously important to Arch and Fedora users, or Fedora 35 users. And I've done that, so now I feel I can go and chat to Wendell, and we can start digging into what the road ahead for GPU pass-through looks like. Okay, yeah, if you can stick it somewhere, Yannick, I'll take a look and see, because like, for example, I can work on adding desktop icons and all of that sort of stuff, you know. So yeah, happy to help with that. An option to move the VMs in the GUI would be nice. To move, well, it's very easy to move the VMs. You just copy and paste them. That was one of the sort of design goals, is that unlike the other virtual machine managers, the VMs are portable. Because, you know, as I said back in the day, the very like proto versions of this, Popey and I were running our VMs off USB flash drives that we were carrying around with us. And in fact, one thing I was considering, and I'll need to, you know, everything I do now, I need to be considerate to the fact that, you know, Quickemu exists. Oh, there we go. Our download is finished. So we can dismiss that, close that, and manage our existing machines. So there's macOS Monterey. I won't go through this because this is going to have to do a full install, which you've seen before, and it takes blooming ages. But we should be able to start our Pop OS. Let's just grab this window off the screen above. There we go. Try our install. Okay. There we go. So we're now in Pop OS. There we go. I guess I could install this. This is actually US keyboard, however. So there we go. Yep, that's working correctly. Right then, clean install. Why not? Go for it. Yes, that block device. Stick it there. Ah, my name. It's going to ask me my password in a minute, isn't it? Yes, my password is test, by the way. I have some integrations for my password is test coming for channel points, by the way. Encryption password is the same as the user account. We don't need to encrypt this VM. Right then, there we go. So that's now installing Pop OS. So it's really nice. I mean, what I love about Quickgui is it preserves all of the simplicity that I was striving to achieve with Quickemu and Quickget. And I think we're very close to having something here that competes with GNOME boxes now. So Quickemu is the engine that sits beneath Quickgui, and Quickgui has definitely sort of the simplicity of GNOME boxes, and does, you know, similar to what GNOME boxes now, because now I've added Quickget, that ability to download distros automatically, which is something boxes can do. I think we've got something comparable here, and we haven't had to write like all of that virtual machine management stuff. I mean, I suppose I have in that, you know, Quickgui is kind of a layer, a wrapper around QEMU, but you don't have to know how to, in the same way with GNOME boxes, you don't have to know how to build a virtual computer. You know, you don't have to with Quickgui. You just need to know what operating system you want to run. Right, okay, let's hit restart then and see what we get. So I think Mark and Yannick have done excellent work. I was surprised how quickly. It only seemed like a couple of hours they were chatting on Discord the other night, and this all came together very quickly. So well done to both of them. I'm extremely pleased. I mean, this project has gone places I didn't expect it to, but all for the better, I think. Do I actually care about these? Is this the usual one? Okay, that's the right thing. Whatever. I need to clean my glasses. I'm just going to say next. Okay. Time zone. That should be correct. Although I could do that, I suppose. I'm not in London, but it's close enough. Right, okay, and we can skip all of that online account stuff. Start using it. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's... Ah, interesting. Oh, that's very good. I like that. I bind that in Ubuntu Mate as well, Super T, to start the terminal. Do they do Control Alt T as well? They don't. I do both. Ah. Right then, so that worked swimmingly. So let's shut this down. I'll just grab this over here. I assume it's in there somewhere. Right, power off. So we'll end that. So there it is. This is the rather fantastic Quick GUI. Brilliant work, fellas. I'm really impressed, and I should be extremely mindful of the changes that I make, that I don't break your fine work. I did message you the other day when I noticed. I am testing it as I make changes to make sure I don't break things, and if I do, I'm going to give you fair warning. Right then, so there it is. That's Quick GUI, and a fabulous front end to Quickemu. So let's just see. Yes, indeed, Jeff, I agree. It's fine work indeed from both of them. So Mark says, let's just see. So it says here, Cody says, also keep in mind Quickemu is also buildable in the AUR if you don't know how to manually build it. Yes, I saw it was in the AUR. I don't know if that is keeping pace with the changes and all of the dependencies, but that's good that it's available over there. And it was so Mark went on to say that it turns out that porting part of one Flutter app to another is quite straightforward, and Yannick says that Mark did good work and it was very easy to integrate. That's fantastic. So yeah, I think it's great that I thought it was fascinating that the two of you both latched on to the idea of creating a UI for Quickemu, and then both chose Flutter. I know Yannick had recently started working with Flutter, but that was a fairly recent thing, and I think, Mark, this is your first foray into Flutter development, but I thought it was interesting that you both, and convenient that you'd both chosen the same framework, because then it made it possible for you to join forces. Yeah, it's fantastic stream work. I think greater than the sum of your parts, the two of you there. It's fantastic. And also look how quickly that's come together as well, because when did the first GUI appear? It could have only have been a few weeks ago, if that, maybe a month ago at most. So, you know, within a month, we've managed to flesh out Quickemu itself and improve the stability and the support there. And then there's a whole, you know, UI built up on top of it that, as I say, I think looks comparable to GNOME boxes. So I think that's the target audience. And the question is now is, I wonder where else we can get this stuff to run. Maybe we'll have to have a look at. So I think QEMU can run on macOS, because there's another project that's inspired by Quickemu, which is just getting things. It's a much more cut down launcher, but it's borrowed bits from Quickemu to run QEMU on macOS, to run macOS in a VM on macOS is the purpose of it. But the fact that QEMU works over there means, oh well, you know, maybe with a bit of work this could all be turned into, you know, a macOS tool and then a Windows tool, and it could be a multi-platform thing. You know, we never know. I really only care about it working well on the Linux desktop at the moment, though. Right then, month and a half, yeah, something like that. So 4 to 6 weeks. I think that's pretty good. I think that's testament to, you know, how rapid the velocity is with, you know, Flutter development as well. Pretty good. So, well, it's all packaged now, Sleepy Eyes Vince. It's in both the projects are in PPAs. They're both installable. So, you know, it's available right now for all the Ubuntus. So Cody's saying maybe one day you can get an actual challenge and try to solve the video for Linux capturing on the Pi 4 400. So that will all be possible through the changes that the engineering team at the Raspberry Pi Foundation are making, with continuing to open source all of the tooling around the video core stack. So I know that's on their roadmap. and you'll be able to use all of the regular tools in the not too distant future. So I don't need to do that because their team is already, well, they've been working on it for some time. It's obviously quite a lot of effort, but that's all coming. Oh, in the repos. Well, yeah, maybe. Have to think very carefully. It might be a bit early to actually introduce something like that in the repos. Better when it's a bit more mature. We should probably think about, Yannick, is maybe having a list of the supported VMs, you know, like that JSON and that CSV living somewhere on the internet, so that Quickget can maybe get a newer copy of that than from the running, mind you. We'll have to think about that. It's not as straightforward as it sounded. Oh, nice one, Yannick. I will take a look at that later. Cool. Thank you. So very quickly, we'll just go and head over to the project here, because I saw everyone's favorite distribution is now available. So there we go. Here's Arch Linux support from DeFips. And I had some feedback last night and I saw they'd fixed things. So we'll squash and merge all of that. And if we now go up here and look at the most recent commits, we can see, there we go. So Arch Linux is now in the list of supported things. And they're using the API that Arch Linux publishes to get the latest versions of the images. And again, we've added this hash check-in, so refactoring all of this to make it easy for people to add new distros as paid dividends, because we've got loads of distros in there now. I think we really need Debian added, because that's, you know, conspicuous by its absence. That would round things out quite nicely, and I think after that, I think most of the main players are catered for now. So yeah, that's pretty good. So that will be in the next release, Arch Linux support, or if you want to run from Git master, it's in there now because we've just merged it. And I suppose the only bug that I'm really irritated with is this one, which is, for reasons I haven't quite unpicked just yet, every other boot of Windows 10 and Windows 11 hangs at the moment, and I can't track down that I've actually done anything to affect that change. So we'll have to you know, figure that one out. So what's this, Yeti Ops? I support Arch Linux, by the way, should be in the release notes. That is brilliant. Thank you very much. I'm totally going to steal that idea. Yes, we'll do that. Nice one. Oh, we do actually, Yannick. I thought about this last week and then it fell out of my head. So Yannick is saying we need to add support for Serenity OS. Yes, we absolutely do. The thing about Serenity is, at the moment, the only way to get an ISO for it, an image for it, is to build Serenity from source, which is surprisingly easy and doesn't take very long at all. But there's an awful lot of build tooling you have to install on your system in order to do that. So I was going to go and talk to Andreas and find out if it would be agreeable to him stroke the project to actually like do a regular build and publish of the image for Serenity, so that Quickget can just consume that pre-built image rather than having to add, you know, a load of stuff to people's systems. Because it's fine building it, you know, I've built it on this machine here. I have all the bits installed to do it, but it's a bit much for people to want to run it. But I thought that Quickemu could become like the way to run Serenity OS. And if you've not tried Serenity OS and you don't know what we're talking about, go and Google it. It's absolutely fantastic. a nice bit of retro compute. It's a love letter to how things used to be. It's an amazing project, and I think one of the last episodes of Ubuntu podcast we interviewed Andreas about Serenity OS. In my opinion, the one of the best, if not the best, episodes of Ubuntu podcast we ever did. Which of course, rest in peace, Ubuntu podcast. So yeah, Yannick, I'd forgotten I'd made a mental note. I wanted to talk to them about that. I'll follow up on that. Yeah, Serenity, definitely. Yeah. We should also start working on QuickArm. Okay, that's a good idea. Give it a different name or something. Yeah, okay. Maybe that can come out towards the end of this sort of, Raspberry Pi development work that I'm about to embark upon next week. Funky Echo again. Really? Well, I don't know why that is. Nobody's triggered the thing that we thought was... Wow. Well, there we go. That's curious. In which case, I think what we're learning here is it's time to go and look and see who's streaming and find somebody to raid. Right, then what have we got here? Building NFT tools. I'm going to dodge that one. There's a channel here I've watched before. I don't know if we've raided them here before that I thought would be... Oh, some GTK development going on over here. Hello. That could be where we need to head. Let's pause that. Okay. Ah, perfect. This is perfect. Let's go here. Right, I have found where we're going to go raiding. I found somebody doing desktop Linux development of a popular desktop Linux application. So we are going to head over there. So thank you all very much for stopping by. I'm sorry about the audio. We'll fix that for next time. Don't know what's going on there. Sure, it's fine. So I will look forward to speaking to you all next week. If not sooner, I will probably be streaming over the weekend. So let's head over to RW Grimm. I will see you over there. Have a great time. Speak to you soon. We're raiding a channel that's